Okay, I need someone please to remind me. What is the skill that now we are working on regarding the IELTS? What is our skill now? We're done with the reading. Now we are in
Writing.
Yes, thank you, Afnan. We are in the writing, and not only in writing. In writing, we have two tasks, task 1 and task 2. We said that we're going to start, of course, with what? We're going to start with Ola, Thani. Last week, the last class, we've talked about the type of questions of what? Task 1 or task 2? You don't remember? Oh, Thani, the pie chart, the line graph, all of those questions, they are type of questions that you might find in what?
Task 1.
Thank you, Abir. In task 1. Task 2 is all about your opinion, your agree or disagree. This is task 2. Task 2 هكذا كأنه فلسفة. But task 1, no, there is something, there are numbers, you're going to analyze those numbers. طيب, as I told you, inshallah, today we're going to start with our first exercise with task 1. Just to remember, task 1 is 20 minutes only. 20 minutes, not very long. Okay? And we said that it's going to be for how many words? How many words you have to write in task 1? You remember?
150.
150 words you have to write in task 1. Okay, by the way, it's very fun. So please, I need you to have your notebooks with you in order to send me what you have written in Padlet. So please, have your notebooks with you, have everything with you, your pens, so you can show me. Right, here the table below, this is a table, so I know that the kind of question that I have is a table. The table below gives information about languages with the most native speakers. Do you know the meaning of native speakers? Do you remember the meaning of native speakers?
No.
What is the meaning of native speaker? I am a native speaker of the language Arabic. What is the meaning of native speaker? Sani, you don't know the meaning of native?
No.
Like you've spoken this language ever since you were a kid?
Yes, very good. That this is my language that I spoken from when I was a kid. This is my language of my family, of my nationality. Very good, غدي. اللغة الأولى. We call it what? Native language or native speaker. طيب. So here we have a table that show us the language. I have here languages. Number of native speakers. يعني العربي كم شخص يتحدث العربية وهي لغتهم الأم؟ We call them native speakers. Number of speakers as an additional language. الآن you talk English, but is English your native language? Is English your native language?
No.
No.
No. So what about English? It's going to be what? Just what?
Additional.
Yes. Thank you, Abir. Thank you. It's an additional language. My native language is Arabic, but the additional language is English. I speak English as an additional language. It's not my native language. So write at least 150 words. Okay, you're going to summarize all those information. You're going to compare between languages, and then you're going to write 150 words. طيب. The first step دائما التي نفعلها سواء كان في task 1 أو task 2, please pay attention يا ثاني, is that what? I have a question, I'm going to rewrite the question, or I'm going to paraphrase paraphrase the question in my own words. لو أنا نسخت السؤال نسخ لصق، إذا هذه الدرجات كلها ستذهب عني لأني نسخت السؤال. مفترض إني أعيد صياغة السؤال. So the table below gives information about languages with the most native speakers. How I'm going to write that? How I'm going to write that? Yes, just tell me what do you think of writing this question again? So, information about languages with the most native speakers. What do you think? How can I rewrite the question again? هذا سيكون الانtroduction. What can I say? ثاني. Nothing that comes to your mind? How can I rewrite it again? Okay, طيب. Let me show you the example here. Answering the question. The table illustrates, okay? Illustrates يعني show the number of native speakers of 6 languages as well as the number of speakers of these languages as an additional language. وانتهيت. Okay, طيب. I described the question again. He said that the table below gives information. أو مثلا instead of illustrate يعني يظهر أو تظهر. Okay, I can say instead of illustrate I can say show. Show what? ماذا تعرض هذا التable؟ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 languages. I have 6 languages and the number of native speakers and also the number of people who speaking it as a native language and as an additional language. الآن كتبتها بطريقة غير مختلفة عن الموجودة في المثال. So I can say for example the table. طبعا التيبل لو كتبتيها عادي لا يعتبر انك كررت الكلمة لأنه هذا الشيء ليس له اسم غير انه table. Okay, so I can say the table shows, okay, or you can say displays. Displays نفس المعنى show. Illustrate نفس المعنى يعني show. أو ممكن أقول gives information. So I can say the table shows 6 languages and the number of people speaking them as a native language and as what also? And as what also? Tani, why you're not with me? And also as an additional language. Can you see? كتبت السؤال مرة أخرى بطريقة أخرى. The table shows 6 languages and the number of people speaking them as a native language and as an additional language. And I'm done. طيب. This is, I can consider this as the introduction. لكن الآن لم أنتهي من introduction. Remember ثاني when I said that in the introduction I should start also after I write the question again. I should start with the trend. Remind me, what is the meaning of trend in task 1 writing? What is the meaning of trend?
Something popular?
Yes, something popular. Or also what? According to numbers, the lowest number or the highest number?
The highest.
The highest. Thank you, Khuzama. Thank you, Farah. The highest number. طيب, can you look at the table? Don't look at the total number. Tell me the highest number here. Number of native speakers and speakers of an additional language. What is the highest number?
370.
370 million in Hindi? No.
9 million. 900.
Yeah. 900. The people who speak the language Mandarin Chinese, but what? As an additional language or a native language?
Native.
Native language. How can I write a sentence about that? ها ثاني. طيب, if you write in your notebook, please show me. I will send you the Padlet link here. I want you to show me how you're going to, we already found the trend. A trend يعني أعلى قيمة موجودة في الصورة يعني أعلى قيمة موجودة. Okay, so it's 900 million people who speak Chinese as a native language. Okay, طيب, give me just a sentence. Write a sentence and please send it in the Padlet link and we're going to see it. يلا, I'm waiting. So Khuzama is writing. Yes, what about you other people? Just write a sentence. Just write a sentence to describe that 900 million people speak Chinese. خلاص, هي أعلى رقم لازم أنا أكتب عنها, لازم أبدأ فيها. دائما في تاسك 1 أول شيء أحدد السؤال, أعيد كتابة السؤال, and then in the same paragraph I'm going to write the number. أكتب جملة تعبر عن أعلى قيمة موجودة في الصورة. So
teacher يعني نكتب إنه بس نكتب كمعلومة ولا نكتب إنه أعلى رقم تبينا نكتب؟
لا, كأنها معلومة الآن. هذه الآن موجود كله أرقام, أنا أحتاجها كشيء مكتوب. Okay. Who's writing like Khuzama? There are 41 students here. Why are you not participating? Why are you not writing? It's writing in IELTS, so you're supposed to be writing. Okay, so Hosama wrote, the number of people who speak Chinese as a native language, you mean, right? Yes, as a native language are 900 million. Yes?
معلمة أنا كنت أحسب إنه يوجد رابط في الواتس، يعني كنت أحسب إنه ما بدأ، ثم ذهبت إلى الموقع قالوا لي إن الرابط في الموقع فقط، يعني عشان كذا أنا تأخرت.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. From now on, you will find the link on the website, Share Edu. Okay, so the number of people who speak Chinese as a native language are 900 million. Very good. You're just going to write this sentence. So if I can, okay, we can write this, and also we can add something. The number of people who speak Chinese as a native language are, yes, Khuzama?
We can add the highest number.
Yes, we can write also it's the highest number. So I can say, for example, on observing the table, okay, comma, we can tell that the highest number in speaking a language is the number of people who speak Chinese as a native language, which is 900 million. Can you see? Can you see how many words we have written, Thani? Many words. Observing the table يعني بملاحظة الشكل هنا, we can tell that the highest number in speaking a language, هذا أعلى رقم سواء كان في speaking as a native language أو سواء كان speaking as an additional language. So في اثنينهم هذا كان أعلى رقم. Okay? So as speaking for the number of the highest number in speaking a language is the number of people who speak Chinese as a native language, which is what? لازم أكتب الرقم, which is 900 million. طيب, let's see the example. What did they wrote in the example? I need someone to read. يلا يا دانا القرني. Are you here, Dana? Dana القرني. Dana. Thani, you should answer when I call your name. Okay, Daniel Abdul Latif. Daniel Abdul Latif, are you here? Yes, can you please turn on your mic? I just needed to read. Here. It until the end.
Okay, teacher.
It is noticeable.
غير واضح teacher.
Noticeable. It is noticeable.
أنت تريدين أن أقرأ الذي على الشاشة يعني؟
Yes, I told you here. All of those until
Teacher?
until
No,
the end.
على صفحة.
Teacher, you're opening the pad.
The Padlet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you didn't tell me before. Okay, from here, let me show you. So from here, yeah, Dania, until here, it is noticeable.
It is not noticeable that the number of speakers of
Mandarin,
Mandarin
Chinese,
Chinese is strikingly higher than the other language, with over 1 billion speakers.
Thank you so much, Dania. So he said that it is noticeable, يعني it's very clear أو شيء ملاحظ، أو مثل ما إحنا كتبنا observing the table بملاحظة الشكل. The number of speakers of Mandarin Chinese is strikingly. Do you remember the word strikingly? Strikingly يعني شديد. ليس فقط بنسبة قليلة، لا بنسبة شديدة. Higher than the other languages with over 1 billion speakers. طبعا 900 million لم تصل إلى 1 billion، لكن غالبا كأنها 1 billion. Okay? So, as you can see, this is the first paragraph as we written. The first 2 lines was rewriting the question again. The second 3 lines or the second 2 lines was only about what's the higher number. The highest number that we have is the people who speak Mandarin Chinese. طيب ماذا نفعل في paragraph 2 and 3 or 2 and 3 here? We're going to compare between languages as speaking as native language and as an additional language. Okay, even also paragraph 4. But at the end of paragraph 4, you're just going to what? We're just going to summarize everything. So for example here ثاني خلاص الآن انتهيت من البراجراف الأول. البقية أسهل يعني أسهل من البراجراف الأول. طيب now I need to compare between languages. Write sentences comparing, for example, between the people who speaks what? Hindi language as a native language or as an additional language. ماذا تلاحظي يا أولى؟ يا ثاني؟ All of those languages, the number of native speakers is higher or lower than the number of people who speak it as an additional language?
Higher.
Thank you, Aisha. Higher, except for one language only. This language, the people who speak it as an additional language are higher than the people who speak it as a native language. What is this language?
English.
Yes, English. Thank you, Shayma. Thank you, Aisha. The only language that the people who speak it as an additional language. Yes, Lynn?
I also said higher but ربما أنتِ لم تسمعيني.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I didn't even see your name. Yes, Lynn, thank you. So it's what? English. English, 603 million people who speak it as an additional. Comparing to the people who speak it as a native language, يعني الناس اللي أصلاً هذه لغتهم, only 339 million. So can you write a sentence about that? What can we say? The same thing that we did now. Just write a sentence. Come on, أولى. من أسهل المواضيع task 1. I'm just going to compare شيء higher وشيء increasing وشيء هيا. How can I write a sentence about that?
The total number of speakers of Hindi language is 490 million.
And you have to compare. You have to compare. يعني مثلا أنا الآن لما أكتب جملة يا لين لازم أجعلها مثلا يعني هكذا مثل السبب. Okay.
Teacher, I want us to talk about the additional language now.
No. We're not talking about only the additional language. We're talking about this whole table. Okay. يعني أنا أفعل فقط مقارنة مثلا ما بين السبانيش في النيتيف سبيكر وفي الاديشنال لانجويج. قارن ما بين الأعداد هكذا. فحسب الذي أنا ألاحظه. مثلا أنا لاحظت إنه الإنجليش the people who speak it as an additional language is higher. وهذا الشيء كان مختلف عن كل باقي اللغات. كل باقي اللغات كان native speakers لا أعلى. So how can I write a sentence about that?
The total number of speakers of Hindi language is 490 million, but the number of native speakers are 370 million. The number of native speakers are higher. صحيح? The number of speakers as an additional language. مو شرط معلمة أنا أقول الرقم.
كيف يعني؟ لم أفهم كيالين.
يعني يمكنني أن أقول المجموع وأقول أن number of native speakers of Hindi language is higher than number of speakers as an additional language.
Yeah, you can say that, of course. You can say that the people who speak Hindi language as a native language are higher with what? مثلا أحسب الفارق ما بينهم. لازم تنوع. الآن مو دائما أنا مثلا راح أقول إنه the number of people who speak Spanish as a native language is higher than the number of people who speak it as an additional. الآن حيتكرر كلامي. أنا لا أحتاج إني أتكرر كلامي حتى لا أخسر درجات. ممكن أحيانا ما أذكر النمبر مثلا يالين وممكن أذكر الفرق. ما يعني 370 ناقص 120 كم يحصل لي فرق؟ كم يكون الفرق؟ Where are you, Lynn?
200 لحظة 250 250.
250. طيب, how can we write a sentence about this? We can say, for example, يلا Please be with me. I would say that the people or the difference. Okay, now the people who speak Hindi as a native language, okay, is the people are higher or lower? Harleen, are you with me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Higher.
higher. Yes, are higher than the number
And
of
the number
people. Sorry,
as an additional language.
مفترض أكتب the number of people who speak Hindi as a native language is higher. اللي هو number is higher
The number of speakers as an additional language.
than the number, very good, of people who speak it as an additional language. طيب الآن أريد أن أستخدم الفرق ما بينهم. كان الفرق 250. طيب كيف أستخدمه؟ with 250 million. Yes, 250 million differences, maybe differences.
Maybe differences.
Yeah. Differences. Yeah, differences. Can you see how many lines here, how many words we have written فقط باستخدام الهندي language? The number of people who speak Hindi as a native language is higher than the number of people who speak it as an additional language. طبعا أنا لم أذكر الفرق، أنا فقط قلت القيمة إنه هذا أعلى من هذا. بفارق ماذا؟ بفارق 250 مليون. Okay. طيب. This is one thing also. What can also we write? Rama said, sorry, Ghala before that said, the people who speak English are higher than the people who speak Spanish. Yes, very good. But we have to say, is it a native or an additional language? Rama said in English, the people who speak it as an additional language are higher than those who speak it as their native language. Very good, yeah, Rama. Let's write this. So regarding the English, we can say different from other languages اختلافا عن بقية اللغات. English has, we can say, or no, we can say in English, as Rama said, in English the people. لازم أذكر هذه النقطة إنه الإنجليش كانت مختلفة تماماً عن بقية اللغات، كانت شيء هكذا شاذ بعيد عنها. لماذا؟ لأنه people who speak it as an additional language are higher than the people who speak it as a native language. So we can say different from other languages. In English, the people who speak it as an additional language are higher than the people, or than those, instead of very good, than those who speak it as their native language. What do you think, Thani? Do you think now it's easy to do those comparison between anything that we have? Thani, please answer me. We're learning so much. Thank you, Ghala. Do you think now it's easy? I think we can do the comparison thing.
Yes.
Yes, Sarah said the number of native Hindi speakers is lower than the number of people that speak Hindi as an additional language. No, I think it's the opposite, Sarah. I think the people who speak it as a native language is higher than the number who speak it as an additional language. طيب, I want to show you the example here. I think we're done with this, but let me show you the example here. طيب خلاص احنا خلصنا من الباراجراف الأول. I need to read paragraph 2 and 3 and also 4 and do your comparison يعني هكذا. Oh yes, you meant the opposite. Yeah, can you see ثاني؟ لما كتب هنا what is remarkable ممكن أنا أستخدم هذه الكلمة. إحنا قلنا different from other languages. ممكن نقول what is remarkable يعني الشيء الواضح يعني هكذا واضح clear very clear about English speakers is that the number of speakers of English as an additional language is higher than that of native speakers of English. Okay. While the total number of Hindi speakers is roughly equal to that of Spanish speakers, when it comes to speaking these languages as an additional language, the number of Hindi is much higher than that for Spanish, 70 million. قارن ما بين التوتال نمبر في الهندي والسبانيش وقال إنهم هم متقاربين صح هم roughly equal somehow طيب لكنه صنع شيء مختلف عنهم وقال إنه when it comes to speaking these languages as an additional language كانت الهندي متفوقة much higher. Why? With 120 million and then the Spanish with only 70 million. I feel like this kind of question is very easy. يعني ممكن فقط الشيء المهم عندي أنا الآن بس أقارن ما بينهم. الشيء المهم عندي كيف أكتب الجملة وأغيرها. بما أني الآن أقارن ما بين شيئين حتى لا يتكرر عندي الكلام. Okay. أختار أي لغتين. It doesn't have to be for example Hindi and Spanish. أختار لغتين أنا ممكن أكتب جملة عنهم. Okay. طيب. So this was one kind of question. The table question. Now, if I have this kind of question, the pie chart. It's very easy. I think all of you, Thani, you need to pay attention. Yes, yeah, Salam. Can you please read the question? Just read the question. Salam. Can you please read the question? No? Okay. Misk,
Okay,
are
teacher.
you? Oh, okay.
Teacher.
Hello, Salam.
But I don't know what the first word.
The charts below.
Okay, the charts below show us spending.
Show US. هذا ليس us. US. capital.
Oh, okay. طيب. Spending patterns between 1966 and صح حالمو
1966 قسميها قسمين.
Okay. And 19 teacher, I have problem with numbers.
هذا الرقم دائما يكون يعني اللي هو العشريني. So احنا نقسم اصلا القسمين هكذا وهكذا. So 19 okay. الحاله وهذا كيف تنطقين الحاله
96.
Yes.
Write a report for a university lecture ما I don't know what to say.
Lecturer يعني محاضر.
Lecturer describe
pink
Uh-huh.
the information below.
Thank you so much أحلى يا سلام. Okay, طيب. Here we have the charts here show us US spending. US, the people who live in what? In the United States. Spending patterns between 1966 until 1996. Okay, يعني من الستينات إلى التسعينات. Can you see? I'm going to see what their spending patterns. What is the meaning of spending patterns? You know the meaning of spending patterns? Spend the money. What is the meaning of spend?
يعني يصرف.
ينفق أو يصرف. Very good, Lean. What about patterns? طيب, for example, I will start by saying 2. By the 2, I will add 2, so it will be 4. I will add 2, it will be 6. Yes, Farah?
نمط.
Yes. So we're going to see how the people in the US, we're going to see their spending patterns. نمط الإنفاق عندهم. In the days where, in the years 1966 and 1996. Okay, طيب. I needed to look at the chart that you have here. Can you look? Here. You have, for every color, you have what the color represent. The color blue represent here food. Yellow represent cars. Yani how much they spend to buy cars in 1966? 23%. How much they spend on petrol? Okay, how much they spent in restaurant? Also in 1996, how much they spent? 14%, for example, on the food. Can you see in 1966 كانوا ماذا؟ 44%. But in 1996 it was only 14%. Okay, طيب. Now the first thing, of course, what we are going to do, the first thing, what we are going to do, the first thing, ها ثاني. To rewrite the question again. This is the question. هذا الثاني. Do you remember? I should rewrite it again. يلا سرة.
I wanted to compare.
Oh, you want to compare? Okay, we will leave that just a minute, but we should start with just what the rewriting the question, paraphrasing the question again. So I would say the chart or the pie chart here. الآن هو استخدم كلمة show إنه تظهر. I cannot use the word show حتى لا أخسر درجات. So what can I use?
Compare.
We can say compare the US. Not compare because we are going to do the comparing سرة. So we will leave that. لأن أساسا كلمة compare حنستخدمها الآن لأنه راح نقارن. But what we can say إنه بمعنى يظهر نفس معنى show. في الباراجراف السابق في الموديل answer استخدم كلمة قلت لكم ممكن نستخدمها. ما هي الكلمة؟ Do you remember? No? The pie chart illustrate نفس معنى show بالضبط إنها تعرض. Or I can say display. Sorry. Display. The pie chart here displays, or sorry, displays, not display. Displays what? Or illustrates what? Hathani, how can I rewrite the question again? Come on. We're going to finish. The pie chart illustrate. أنا لا أريد أن أقول spending patterns between حتى لا أريد الكلام. يلا, I'm waiting for you, Yadin. It's okay, Salam. We all make mistakes. We can say illustrate. Do you remember the website that I gave you? Theosource. Theosource الموقع الذي يظهر لك الكلمات والمرادف لها. يعني ممكن تستخدمين بدالها. So you can use this website to search for a word that I can use instead of spend, instead of button.
معلمة من أين هذه الكلمة أحضرتيها؟ illustrates
من نفس الباراجراف التي كان هنا. Okay. Illustrate. هذا كان المثال. حل التيبل كان مثال الحل بدأ ب illustrate.
نعم.
Yes. So for example here I have gives information. ممكن أقول illustrate, ممكن أقول gives information. Lana said here expend. Expend for what? For the word what يا Lana? You use expend.
Spending.
For spending.
Yes, spending.
Yes. Yes, very good. We can use that, of course. We can use expanding. So the pie chart here illustrate expanding way. For example, we can say that. Spending, expanding. But here لأنه استخدم spending فنريد نغيرها. Expanding way in the United States in the years 1966 and 1996. Let's see the model answer. What did they wrote? The pie charts show changes in American spending pattern between 1996 and 19. No, he didn't change the answer here. لأنه كتب نفسها. Show changes in America. I think no, we shouldn't take the one here because إذا يعني استخدم كلمة show كان مفترض إنه يغيرها. ممكن نقول American, yes, it's better, but we write the United States, it's okay. Between 19 and 96 as we wrote here. Okay, so we did it better than the model answer. طيب, if I want to compare or before I compare in the same paragraph لازم أكتب a trend, the highest number أو ال highest percent, أعلى نسبة هنا بما أننا الآن هنا نتحدث عن نسب. So what is the highest percent here? What is the highest percent?
44. لا هنا 45.
45 in what? They spend 45% on what?
Cars.
On cars.
On cars. Very good. Thank you, all of you. So we can say a sentence. Who can help me? ثاني. طيب, we can say the highest percent of spending in both years was on cars in which year? In 1996 with how much percent? With 45% spending. So you see, this is how I write the trend or the highest number. Yes, Sarah, you said you're going to compare. Now we're going to move on to the comparing. الآن أنا ممكن أقارن ما بين أي شيء. The same objects here, the same object there. I'm just going to compare. يلا سارة.
We can see a noticeable difference between the spending of food between the years 1966 and 1996.
Very good. So I will say, Sarah, we can see a noticeable what did you say?
Difference
Difference. Yes.
between the amount of spending.
Between the amount of spending. Very good. The amount of spending. Spending what? Can you please?
Spendings on food.
Spendings of food.
On food, yes. Between the years 1996 and 1966.
Between the years 1966 and 1996. With which year is higher? The spending is higher.
1966.
19 with how much percent?
44%.
Yes, with a higher percent, with a higher spending in the year 1996, 1966. Okay, so we can see a noticeable difference between the amount of spendings on food. Yes, it's on food, yes, Salam. On food between the years 1966 and 1996, with a higher spending in the year 1966, with a 44% spending. Very good. Thanks so much, Sarah. Can you see how many words we have written? Many words we can write by only comparing two things, or maybe sometimes you can compare between three things, but here we can have two things. Okay, we're going to compare the rest later. Did you enjoy doing this exercise, Tani? I think it's very nice. Did you enjoy like me or not? Yes, thank you, Salam. Thank you, Lynn.
Yes, we did.
Yes, it's very fun, and also by the way it's very easy. ممكن مثل ما أخبرتكم البانيك أتاك تأتي في البداية، لما أنا أبدأ بالكتابة وأبدأ أقارن very easy. Okay, طيب. I will take the attendance now.